Welcome to day 28. It's not actually day 28. I just don't want to change all the lecture numbers because next semester, hopefully, we're going to have, all of our lectures correctly. We skipped a lecture on additive manufacturing and advanced topics in SolidWorks. So this is actually our last lecture ever. This is our last day. This is the last time we're meeting on YouTube, and this is the last time you have to hear my voice on YouTube. So today we're going to be reviewing for the CSWA and what you need. I'm going to explain things as I go on what else we're going to do, but we're going to start with our little review here. So, the CSWA program gives you your certificate, and it just basically tests to make sure that you know as much about SolidWorks as it thinks you should know. This is by the way, this is the SolidWorks slideshow, and so if things seem a little dull, I'm sorry, but this is the one that they want us to read off and provide for students about to take the CSWA. So the certification basically is going to demonstrate that you understand SolidWorks, the modeling techniques, the design intent ideas, and engineering practices. It's committed to making you a professional and showing that you are a professional, that you guys, all are at the end of this class. The CSWA certificate for it's like your bachelor's certificate in CSWA. I can't remember the actual name, but it requires passing the CSWA exam, which we'll go through in a moment. And then the CSWA exam is online. It's, in this case, not proctored, but comprehensive on everything we've learned from assemblies to simple sketches. And it's 3 hours long. If you have accommodations through the Student Access Center, you should have dealt with those already. If not, please send an email with your hair on fire to us, and we'll try and make sure that you have your extra time if you need it. And it basically, the CSWA exam is going to be a written proof to show that employers that you have a significant competence over SolidWorks. There are more tests you can do to show higher competence, but this is the first one and the kind of the most important one to show right off the bat. It's going to cover 4 main things, which is the 3D CAD modeling, obviously, engineering principles and mass properties, materials, and design iterations, design intent, and then recognizing the standards. So obviously we talk about ANSI standards a lot, so it's going to be recognized as those standards. Prepare for this exam, you needed at least 45 hours of classroom instruction. Obviously you got a lot more than that, so you guys are set with that. 3D illustrations with dimension, which is on the right. We don't actually need those that much for this. SolidWorks uses them a lot, but because of what you know now, you should just have a general understanding of how those work. 2D drawings, our normal three planes, and then drafting competence with all the, everything that requires that. So you want to complete all the suggested SolidWorks tutorials, which in our case is all the, homework assignments and all that stuff we went over. You can complete a sample exam. This is kind of the most important part. If you click through this link, you'll have the PDF of this, so you'll be able to click that. And we'll go through how to do that in a minute. This sample exam is going to be shorter. It's only going to be 90 minutes compared to the 3-hour regular exam. Exam breakdown. So 3 questions on drawing theory, 5 points each, totaling 50 points. 2 questions on part modeling, 2 questions on basic part modeling, 2 questions on intermediate, and then 3 on advanced, and then 4 assembly modelings. So there's 240 points total. You have 3 hours to complete it, and to pass, you need 165 points or more. If you get a perfect score, sick. If you get 170, sick. You passed. That's what's important. If you don't pass, that doesn't matter for our class because we're just going to take this. We're going to take whatever point value you got, and that's your final exam. This is our final exam in SolidWorks. So if you don't pass, you still may be able to pass the class, but you're not going to get the certificate showing that you have, to your future employers, hopefully, that you have, that SolidWorks certificate. Answering the question. So you want to read the question, obviously. You can choose different views for more details for when you're modeling. You're going to want to create that SolidWorks model and then select whatever answer is correct. It's just multiple choice, and then click next question. All the questions are multiple choice. For the modeling questions, you want to download and unzip the model, similar to how we've done before. Use whatever mates you have to do to create that model, and then answer or fill in the question for basically they're going to ask you like center of gravity and all that kind of stuff. So you give the center of gravity or whatever. And same thing with this. So this question is, if you select three faces and apply a load of 60 pounds, what is the total force applied on the model? Basic questions like that of just, simple statics. So for the exams, you want to obviously read all the questions thoroughly, and usually you can scroll down to get more information about it. Review all the views that you get. They're given to you, you may as well use them. Know how to apply materials and mass properties for mass, volume, moment of inertia, all that kind of stuff. And make sure you enter in, obviously, your dimensions precisely. If you're missing, a little bit, or you write, 11 when you meant to write 1 because you clicked it twice, that's going to mess you up quite significantly. So keep that in mind. Know how to use the coordinate system for what planes you're mating to. It should be pretty self-explanatory. It's basically, it's all going to be stuff we've covered already. And then just work quickly and accurately. This is a timed exam, so you want to make sure that you're kind of chugging through and timing it out on how long each question is going to take and what you're working. So once you've completed the exam, you can click or I guess at any point as well, you can click the Show Summary button to review all the answered questions you have. You can go back to the exam by going back to the question. And you can end the exam by clicking End Examination. You're going to be prompted with yes or no to double check that you're not accidentally saying yes. And then you can read your score from there. So that's when you get your score. If you pass, return to the virtual tester. We'll cover this all. We'll go over the website in a minute. And it's going to be virtualtester.com/SolidWorks. Again, you can click this link, and then you can log into your account to print your certificate. If you'd like to print your certificate, you can. They also, I think, get emailed to you, so you don't have to go through this, but just links your name up, and that's all good. So, exam benefits. It's formal recognition of what you've done. Obviously, in this class, we have covered a lot more than the exam is going to cover. You guys, because of the class you took, are much more competent than someone that just did the bare minimum for this exam. It proves to professionals in industry that you know what you're talking about. You become a membership of the CSWA community. I don't know the benefits of that, but SolidWorks is advertising that. You get, obviously, your certificate and then success in the first level of the SolidWorks certification program. The other levels are the professional exam, the sheet metal surfacing, and FEA exam. So those are all exams you can choose to take later if you wish. You could take them, right after you took this exam if you felt like you were, really wanting a challenge. But the other exams are, difficult. This one isn't difficult. Whatever. All right, so what we're going to do now is take a look at the SolidWorks CSWA. Actually, first we're going to set up our account, so I missed that slide. Let me actually jump back in. I'll make sure I'm doing this all good. Okay, so we're going to set up our account. I'm going to click this in a second. Open us up. Again, you'll be able to click this because you have the PDF. You can't ask questions right now because, drop something in the comments, let your boy know. I'm not going to answer it there. Study. So the practice test is provided. What that means is, you can take the CSWA practice exam and then watch the Solid Professor videos at CSWA Prep, although they aren't required. So you can go in your library and then SolidWorks, CSWA Prep, similar to the ACTs or any standardized test like that. If you practice a little, you can improve your score majorly. So if I click this, it's not going to let me click it right now. Luckily, I already have it open. Oh, wrong place. All right, here we go. So it's going to bring you to this website in which it's super self-explanatory. So you're going to want to download the Tester Pro client. If I were to download that right now, it's going to download it as a folder. And then you open that folder, and then you could set up your username and login. You're going to want to create an account. But basically, this page walks you through everything. It should be fairly easy. But you're obviously taking your associate's exam. So let me just download this for fun. I'll run through it with you guys. I don't think I have this on my computer. Actually, while that's downloading, I'm going to do something else because I actually also have the thing that they give teachers, the first time they're giving this exam. So I'm going to run through this PDF that I got from SolidWorks as a, someone that's providing exam, because it gives a few helpful hints. For the online sample, you don't need to use the voucher, but you will need to use the voucher after that. I'm going to show you how to use the voucher too. Don't worry about it. We got a few things to cover. For the real CSWA, just distribute, each one of you guys has a unique voucher linked to your name, with one voucher per student. I'll show you how to get those in a second. But basically what you need for this exam is a computer with SolidWorks, whether you're remote desktoping in or using your computer at home, whatever you want to do. You need an internet connection, and then download the tester client. Have a valid email address. You're going to want to use your K-State email, most likely for that. And then your voucher ID code we're going to give you. So let's run through this quickly. The link we gave you on the slideshow obviously brings us to this page. So follow this. So click here to download the TestPro client on their computer. So the TestPro client is going to install as a file. Go ahead with the installation. You're going to get a folder called Tanger's TestPro client on the Windows desktop, and you're going to want to run that client in that folder. So from there, run the client as a new user. So I'm going to read this. Important. Your student should enter their information here. At this point, a virtual tester account will be created for them, and a password will be assigned. Record this email and password for future testing. That is more for us, but obviously remember your email and password, because if you were to take something else, it's going to be on the same account. But that's what your new username thing is going to look like. If you already have a testing account, say if you're retaking this class or something like that, you can just skip to the next page, or but write down your email and password of what you've already used. So if you're an existing user, just log in, but most of you guys are not. You're going to want to select the DS board, so you're going to choose the SolidWorks, and then this is what it's going to look like after. And after logging into the existing client, scroll down the list of exams. You're probably going to want to take the sample exam first, unless you just want to jump in cold to the associate, but we're not using the simulation, so don't worry about that. Click the free exam icon to start the exam on the next window. The sample exam will be available basically until you pass. So you can take it as many times as you want until you pass. There's no certificate for that, so you can just start it whenever you want. And then if you're taking the real CSWA, skip to the next page of this document. So the real one, after the login screen, you'll get the page where the tests are listed. Your test taker, so you are going to see all kinds of exams, including the CSWA, CSWP, advanced exams, weldments, all that kind of stuff. But they're also going to see no red credit icons indicating they have no credit to take the exam, since they did not use our web store to purchase the products, right? We're giving you the keys. This is where the voucher comes in. You have to enter your voucher code in the box labeled event ID/voucher and then submit. Once you enter the voucher code you're supplied with, you're going to be prompted to start the exam. Yes, yours is a trackable voucher because it's linked to your name, and that's how we put it in Canvas and all that kind of stuff. Once you hit continue, they're going to be choosing what language you want, and then you're going to have 3 hours to complete the test. So in the CSWA exam, wow, this is such a great slideshow. I'm glad I'm showing this to you. The examination is 3 hours on basically what we covered. 70% is required to pass, so 165. And then this is mostly the same thing that we just covered. So if you want to read this on your own, I'm going to kind of scroll through. But this is literally what we just went over. You can also zoom in. That's a good thing to note. But it's all going to be, that's what it's going to look like. When you pass, which you will all pass, I'm sure. Don't worry. Well, worry a little bit if you're worried, but don't worry too much. When you complete it, this is what you're going to look like. It's going to say, congratulations, you passed. Your score of 190 out of 240. And as long as you're over, 165, you're good. You're going to get given a certificate. You'll get it emailed, or you can download a PDF on the online thing. Then the rest is from me. But that's that there. So I'm actually not going to run through the Tangic tester because we just covered this all here. But basically, you're going to need a setup to run through it one last time. Set up your account. Choose SolidWorks. Enter your voucher ID, which you're going to get, and then you can start. I would do the sample exam first. Sorry, don't enter your voucher ID. Do the sample exam until you pass, which I'm sure you will in the first try. And then when you're ready to take the test, you can enter your voucher ID. So voucher IDs. Let me get this up here. Let's go to Canvas. Did we upload it to our graphics database? I think so. This will get released to you tomorrow, so let's do my class, for example. Let me download this. I think I already downloaded this once. Nope, I haven't. Okay, let's open this up. So this is a sick Excel sheet made by the guy who did my job last semester, Timber. I'm sure you've heard him or seen him. So basically how this works is, let's say my name is Aaron. So we're going to enable editing. It's a 2-page sheet with locked cells in here, so you can't see what's happening here because here's where all the secrets are. So get your code here is where you're going to want to go. Say I'm the first person in my class, I'm Aaron Allnut. Hello, Aaron, if you're listening. Basically, you're going to click the last name, Aaron, or sorry, Allnut, and then the first name's Aaron, and then verify your name. So you're going to drop down either yes or no. And if you click yes, which I'm not going to do because it's going to show us voucher code, your code is going to pop up right here. This is what you need to input into that tester client, and that's how you're going to get your exam. So choose your name, Allnut Aaron, and then verify your name. As soon as you click yes, your code is going to pop up right here. You can just copy paste it. So you guys are all going to get this. What I would do, I'm going to actually upload this to, I mean, obviously you could, I could be Seth right now, and anyone can get anyone's CSWA code, but because we're making you verify with yes or no, it's going to be a academic violation if you were to use someone else's CSWA code. So make sure you don't use someone else's. I would hate to have to deal with that. That would be unfortunate. But basically, I'm going to upload that to my class database. I'll do that right now just to show you, give you a little behind-the-scenes tour here of what's going on. This is my class files. I'm going to make a folder called CSWA. Okay, in here, wow, it's 12:58 a.m. It's late. Okay, and I'm going to upload this to my folder. All right, so I'm going to make this available tomorrow. But basically, you are going to Monday at 9 a.m. You're going to download this from your classes page. And then once you have it downloaded, and I mean, since this is our last class, you can take this test whenever you want. I mean, you could take it at 9:01 a.m. I don't care. You just have to take it by Friday night. So carve out some time between Monday and Friday. That should be enough time to take a 3-hour exam. But carve out some time, settle yourself. Think of if you have good internet at during nighttime, maybe do that during nighttime, especially if you're remote desktopping in. But do whatever you want, and I hope it goes well for everyone. If you have any questions, obviously contact me or contact your instructors, preferably your instructors first, so I don't get flooded with emails from 300 students. But whatever you want to do, make sure that you access your voucher. Don't use someone else's voucher code. Do a little studying. Solid Professor is going to help. That's all I got. I hope you guys have had a good semester. I hope everything went well for everyone. Hiccup. I hope you guys have a good summer, and whether you're doing internships or summer classes, whatever you got going, I hope it goes well. Stay in contact if you're doing cool stuff. I would always love to see, if you're doing cool stuff, especially with SolidWorks this summer, holler at me, because I love SolidWorks and design, and I would love to see if you guys are up to cool stuff. So let me know. I hope you guys have a good one. This is the 24 Hours in the Nürburgring in 2007, in case you're wondering. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. I'll see you.